we got the BMW here, and looking at the airbox, that looks kind of stupid. That looks like some EPA bullshit. Got some nice 48mm throttle bodies. Already tested the upper injectors. They look like they should be able to flow enough for our E85. Gonna check the lowers to see what they flow. I think they're even the same part numbers. Should be good to go on this bad boy soon. This is a 2020 red model. This exhaust is going to get swapped out for a full Brox system, and I'm excited. That is one heavy. Yeah, that's a good curling job. It's a good 15-20 pounds. Plus the can there. Let's find out what it weighs. Go to zeros on the scale. Put this bad boy on there. Let's see if we can get it balance. And I wasn't far off. There's 1812, and then let's try and put the can on top. Oh, come on, can. Well, now we can do the light. 2310 for the whole system, and we're probably going to be putting less than a 5-pound system in. Now we got it all on the scale. Be a little less than that, but 9 pounds total with all the hardware, springs, everything that'll end up going on there, versus the 25 pounds of the other system. All right, I already went a little bit past the first start, but you guys hear it anyway. God, that sounds bad. Absolutely sick. Thank you, Brock, for making such a sweet exhaust. That bitch is really loud. I don't think the microphone's doing it justice, but we're going to get on the dyno, figure out what she do, get into the Woolwich, and get this baby tuned on some alcohols. We will run gasoline through it. We will run E85 through it, and we will run some methanol through it. I do intend upon modifying the injectors. We will put bigger upper injectors in this thing and let her rip. But dang, this sounds nice. starting numbers, starting off at 190 and already at 197 after letting the bike do a little bit of its learning on its own. Air fuel still looks like shit. Let's get to tuning and see what this bad boy can do. I think those torque numbers are going to come up a lot, and it's already higher than the horsepower number I thought it would do. Right, so we got up the stock run with the stock exhaust versus the Brock's exhaust being on it, plus the air inlet mod. Now let's get after tuning. That's already the highest reading beamer on my dyno. That torque changed because I switched gears. But 89 foot-pounds of torque with ram air, 87 foot-pounds of torque without it, 205 horsepower. We still got more tuning to do, a lot more tuning to do. But Woolwich needs to get back to me on my email. So we're done with the tune on this bad boy. We do see some differences between this one and the 2023. 2023 does make a boatload more torque at about 9,000 RPM, but it doesn't make quite as much up at the top. They fall a little short up there at the top end. We got 208 out of this one, and we started off with 190, and we made 200 on gasoline. The 208's on E85. Should produce similar numbers to your MR12, but it can run both fuels. It's badass. We might get into some methanol tuning on this thing, but there she is. I'm pretty sure we're done. Alright, so we got the most interesting part here. So we got the before and after. Blue is before, 190 horsepower, 181 foot-pounds of torque. And then after, we have two different things here. One is before injectors and one is after injectors. Now, before is on gasoline and after is on E85. So there is a difference there. We optimized it for E85. We did test some other fuels, but these are the changes we got. And I did not expect injectors to help that much. They both made same horsepower, but big, huge gains in torque. So yeah, big injectors for the win. So on the traction limited side of things, this is the force going to the rear wheel. That's why we go through multi-gear runs. And she hits 600 pound-feet, which would be roughly, with a 200-pound rider, that would be 1G, at 110 mile an hour. To give a comparison, the CBR that we just built will pull that all the way to 125 mile an hour. So when we have both the CBR and the Beamer up on here, see they touch each other right there, and this one's in third gear, this one's in fourth gear. So it holds it quite a bit longer. If I had started that run in third gear, I probably would have just smoked the tire off, but it would have been up here somewhere. What a beastie. And then Beamer against other Beamers, this brown one is a 2023. They make some serious low-end torque, but it happens to fall off a little bit on the top. That was a de-restricted one, but we did not tune that one. That one came to us at a bike night. But still, a record is where a record is. That's a 95 foot-pound bike. That was on E85 though. All right, final results. Got the truck warming up so I have some cold AC. Best on E85 on the Beamer. She's making quite a bit more torque than before. Blue is where we started. Pink is our gasoline run. Purple is the CBR that we recently built. Check out that video, there'll be a link in the end. And the brown is the best Beamer that we've seen as far as torque is concerned.